Hey, what is up everybody? Platform Disciple here, and today we are starting our free-to-play Get to Top 100 in Ranked challenge, and today we are going to be playing with this free-to-play Death Blast deck, which notably doesn't use Death Blast because that's not one of the free cards. But here's the list. I'm not going to go over the list because you shouldn't. Although I think I can get to top 100, this is not the deck you should be trying to get to top 100 with. So, although I could explain the choices I made, you need to keep in mind that the choices I made in making this deck were not choices that I would make if I was using my entire collection. So that's why I'm not going to go over it. But we do have a complete sideboard, we do have a complete deck, and the deck strategy is similar to the Death Blast deck and is the same purity, which is why it's named that. And we're just going to hop into it. And before I start, I will say that I played one game the other day, and as you can see, we already have some points. And the reason for that is you see Ant Venomer here. I played against Ant Venomer and tied. And if you tie while your score is lower than the person you tie with, you'll actually get some points. And that's something else I didn't mention in the previous video. I said people are afraid of playing ranked. They're worried they don't have the skill set yet or the cards and stuff. If you play against someone who's much higher on the ladder, you actually get a weighted score. So if you beat them, you'll get a ton of points. And if you tied them even, you get some points. So I got some points here just for tying, which is part of the reason why I think this is possible, is that we can even just shoot for ties. And as you can see, I'm already 81st because there aren't people playing ranked and people with 0 points are in top 100. So that's just something to keep in mind. And we're going to go ahead and hop into a game and give this a shot. All right, so we're in game now, and we are pitted against Triple Genesis, which is honestly really bad for us, but we'll give it a shot anyways. And in judging by his command zone, this could be like a pre-con deck. I'm not sure. Now I'm looking, I see that Splitter Robot is untradeable, but these are tradable, so I'm wrong about that. I have priority, so if I wanted to get ballsy, I would use Flame Dawn Commando on the support drone, and if he plays it this turn, then I get some sick value. But if this guy knows what he's doing, he is actually just going to boost it that way with Alita or whatever. So we're not going to do that. And as you can see, I made the right call there. He has priority, so if we blast this, unfortunately, there's a chance that it'll live, which is why we're also going to Flame Dawn Commando it. And then we move on with our lives. So Commando, it goes up, and then we blast it. Voila. And he has no way to interact with us on his turn 3, because there's no haste characters. So we can just go get in for some free damage. Worst case scenario, he plays Cannon Fire, but it's not actually very likely. I think I'm gonna do I might do Exhaust and Stumble. I could also do Death Ray, but the thing about using Death Ray on either of these is it actually generates more characters for him to block with. So we're gonna do Exhaust on the bigger one and Stumble on the smaller one. Just get in for some damage, because our goal with this deck is just try to do as much damage in the early game as possible, and then we can probably close the game out with Dark Blasts and Siphon Structures. And just as we planned, we're getting in for our damage. That is exhausted. This can go up to 10 power. We could exhaust it, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to play Bromic, and we're going to stumble it. So, as you can see, free damage is happening. The worst case scenario for us is he puts Aleta out, in which case we still have 16 power here to trade with Aleta, and we'll even get in for 16 damage on top of that, so it's looking good for us. And see now he is within the territory of us just straight up killing him with these Dark Blasts. We just need to draw into them. But we're going to keep pressuring for damage this turn. We're going to exhaust one of them. And we might... I think we're going to Death Ray the other. And if he doesn't play Aletta, then we get in for damage. And if he does play Aletta, well, we have to rely on these Dark Blasts. So this is going to have enough power to trade with Splitter Light if Splitter Light's in front. So that's why we're leaving that there. I think we're good to go. And that's unfortunate. No, actually, no, we're fine. We're fine. And now he's at 7, so we just Dark Blast, and boom, we win. Boom! Not bad. And we're gonna pull these back. He can't kill us this turn, and I don't think there's any way he can prevent us from killing him with Dark Blast, but we want to play it safe either way, in my opinion. That's what I always like to do. But I literally cannot think of any single card that will save him right now in this faction. So he defends with everything, and here comes our Dark Blast. Bam. That's game 1. And like I said before, ties matter. Likewise, getting 1 win out of 3 also matters. So anytime we get any wins is great. And this deck has a pretty good game 1 against most things, which is nice. Now, against his deck, I may put in the Hellmouth, but honestly, we don't have very many good sideboard cards against him. Ideally, we would have the Chain Lightnings on the sideboard, but like I said before, we're doing the free-to-play edition of this deck. And I don't think any of these really help us. Perils of Command is okay. Blackbind Witch might actually be good. Hellmouth is okay. I think we could put in Blackbind Witch, but I might not this game. I might do it next game. I could side out Death Ray. I don't know. I could also side out Flamed on Footman. I think we might just leave it for now. It's also Flamed on Knight. Could side out. Like, the reason I'm thinking about putting in Blackbind Witch is because he has a lot of high health characters, and Blackbind Witch does a very nice job of just getting through 1 blocker guaranteed. I think we're going to leave our deck unaltered for this game, and if things go poorly or we see more of his deck, maybe we'll change it up. So we have priority, which means that we want to Lightning Blast this turn 1. And the reason is, let's say we didn't, then that's going to be a 5-5. Next turn, he'll have priority. He can get it to 8-8 and then use its own effect on itself, which is going to get it outside the Lightning Blast range. Lightning Blast is one of the cards that helps us a lot in this matchup. And after we've killed his support drone, there's a period of time where it's very unlikely for him to have plays that he can actually slow us down with. He can play Splitter Light. That could be something that slows us down slightly, but we have another Lightning Blast, so we're in very, very good shape. We also have Kidnapper, which is good in this matchup because what was so good last game is that we drew the Exhausts instead of the Death Rays, and Exhaust in this matchup, because I'm trying to end the game so quickly and I don't care about killing his characters. I care more about just getting them out of the defense zone. Death Ray actually gives him more characters in the defense zone. So something like Kidnapper is great against the splitters because I get to basically take I take it out and he doesn't get those 5/5s. Flamed on Commando was a good draw for us. It might have been the best possible draw for us. I think I might Lightning Blast here. The other option would be play the Aether Acolyte, which would be good because if he... Yeah, I think Aether Acolyte's actually going to be better. and we can build up our board a little more. I'm not happy about Splitter Robot at the moment because we have to deal with it for a full turn before we can play the Kidnapper. Oh, Orion's Grave. That's a slow play for him, which is good for us. Anything that slows him down. I mean, you might be thinking to yourself, well, ultimately he gets to play faster, right? But he took an entire turn not playing anything, not affecting the board, and any turn he doesn't affect the board is extremely, extremely good for us. Like, as you can see, he can play Splitter Robot this turn, and that's his best move. And it doesn't do that much right now, which is just very good for us. We're at an unfortunate position where playing Bromic and trading 1-for-1 with the Splitter isn't that great. I might do Death Ray here, and actually maybe trading Bromic is the right decision here. Tough call, tough call. It just feels bad. Our other option would be to trade our characters, which might be better. I think we want to trade like this because it only takes one spell to make this Aether Acolyte better than the Flamedawn Hound, so we're okay with losing it. And he did not play the Splitter Robot, which is very, very good that we did not Death Ray it because we would have lost a lot of tempo for that. We're gonna go ahead and kidnap it. And we're gonna lose some characters this turn, no matter what we do, which kind of sucks. I'm trying to figure out the best way to line these up. So, because we're probably dealing with an 8/8 unending drone and a 2/2 support drone, which would mean we'd trade and then something would live. It's tough. We could also be dealing with 2 5/5s. I think in either case, I think, like, let's say there's a 2/2 and then an 8/8. That would mean we trade these two away. If there's an 8/8 and a 2/2, we trade these two away. If it's 2 5/5s, this lives and that dies. I think this is the best arrangement for us. And I do really think I have to play Kidnapper this turn. So because the other option would be Lightning Blast one of these, but then the Splitter Robot's going to just cause us a lot of trouble. So Kidnapper is really just a great card in general, but in this deck particularly, the way I'm using it is normally you keep Kidnapper in the support zone, but you can think of Kidnapper almost like a 4/5 with an exhaust attached. So I can justify putting him in the assault zone at the end of it and just prioritize him as a card that we're going to try to keep alive, but we're okay with him getting killed. Because honestly, just the chance of him getting in for 4 damage is really good. Oh, nice. I totally didn't think about that. I made a mistake in that I was assuming that he was going to use Alita, but of course that was dumb of me because he could have... Was it dumb of me? No. Wait. So why didn't he use Alita? Did he play something that turn? I don't think he did. So I'm not sure. But now we have Bromic, big boy Bromic. He is apparently having some problem. I think what he's experiencing is sometimes you can't move a character and you need to click on other characters. I'm just trying to help him out. I mean, obviously I'm more likely to win if he can't play, but first of all, I don't want a free win just ever. Oh shoot. I didn't move my guys. I don't want a free win ever, but in addition to that, I don't. I'm doing a challenge here, right? I'm doing a challenge, and to win the challenge without the challenge portion would be pretty lame. So I think. Well, I've won the game at this point, and it's possibly due to him getting screwed over, but I think I was gonna win either way. And I feel real bad. I feel really bad having this be our first recorded win for the deck, but at the same time, like, the video would be pretty long if I recorded another one. Possibly, maybe not. I think even though this was a really disappointing end, the good news, of course, is that we won. All those cards were free, and you can do it too. You can get matched up against people who get screwed over by the user interface. It can happen. But bad news is it was a cheesy win, and but I'm gonna be uploading this as a series, so there's gonna be more videos just like this. Hopefully ones where I win fair and square. And until next time, everyone, peace out.